Welcome to Games Gone By.
Oh,
We don't know
yeah.
what episode this is because I'm incompetent and I still have not recorded a proper intro in a lot of these episodes where I introduce ourselves. So here we
Yeah.
are. If you're listening to this episode, there's only a couple episodes, I hope, actually. I think I saw like 2 episodes. So if you made it this far with our same intro the whole time, congratulations. I'm Adrian.
I'm
David's down
Gore.
there. Gore's over
Hell
there.
yeah.
You're going to listen to us
Hello.
talk about some sort of video game. It's probably going to be either Silent Hill 2 or Enslaved Odyssey to the West. One of those games. So if
One
you
of
listen to
those
this
games.
intro. If it's another one of those intros, I'm extremely incompetent. So let's hope that's not
Whoops.
it. This is our book club where we talk about video games that we selected on our Blue Rupees podcast, or now on this actually, on our standalone Games Gone By episodes. If you're watching this now too, we're also doing our catch-up episodes. We're a couple episodes behind now, but it's okay. BRP at bluerupees.com to give your intro, your opinion on any of these
Your intro.
games. Your intro, yeah.
Give us
Give
your
us your
intros.
own intro.
Give us your intros. We'll toss them.
Tell us what you thought about, I don't know, fucking Barkley. Did you
Tell
like
us
it?
what you thought. Tell us what you thought of the last election. We really want to know.
Yeah, do that.
Send your email
You know-
at the last selection to
You know what?
brp at bluerupees.com.
Yeah, BRP at Blue Rupees. You know what? That's timeless too, because I didn't say what election. So they could be watching this 5 years from now and be like, "Yeah, man, when Dwayne Johnson became president, I was like, fuck, that's bullshit." It should be
Hey.
Steve Austin.
Email us whatever you want. How's your day going?
Yeah,
Is it
how's
going
your day
good?
going? Is it great?
How's the pandemic
Uh,
treating you? How's your
The
dog?
flowers
You have a
smell
dog?
good. Did you go outside? Do you have a dog? Did you see your dog today?
You avoid your dog. I don't want to fucking talk to that motherfucker.
Yeah, I hate that fucker. He keeps calling me names. Dick.
Anyway, here's Games Gone By.
Go to hell.
Hello and welcome to Games Gone By. I
Hard.
don't know if you can see that on the
I
recording.
think I'm pretty sure you can. I don't see how you couldn't. Right?
No,
Yeah,
you
you
can see it
can.
on stream for sure. I don't know if you can see it on the recording.
What?
This is Silent Hill 2. Also, shoutouts. New theme song. We didn't talk about that last episode because I was
Oh
kinda
yeah.
still getting everything prepped up for that. Let me see if I can find out who to credit that to.
Miyamoto. Thanks, Miyamoto.
Yeah,
Post his own-
thank you, Miyamoto.
So-
Ricardo
Miyamoto's-
Ramirez, shout out. I commissioned that from him. I like the little jingle.
Oh,
I
yeah.
made the actual video of that, and then the background that you got going on right now. We'll see what it is. I still gotta decide what it is. We'll figure it out. I think I have an idea of what I want though.
Oh, it should be.
you really, really want.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
of doing just the intro where he's sitting or standing at the ledge.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll probably get the HD version of that though for the background.
Oh no. Then the fog's gonna be bad.
That's true. We're doing Silent Hill 2.
Hell
This
yeah.
is my pick. Really quick before we get to that though, our schedule coming up is next month is going to be, or this month actually, November 26th is Enslaved Odyssey to the West. December 24th, Grim Fandango, and January 29th is No Man's Sky. We will have an audio podcast of this soon. I just got we had an issue with making it a separate show. We'll be doing that somewhat shortly. And nothing else really. So Silent Hill 2. Let's just talk about it.
All right, let's go.
How,
Game.
What a journey.
yeah, how did everyone play this?
Xbox.
Well,
Well,
I played it.
I started on Xbox, then the Xbox died. Played on the PlayStation 3 with the HD collection. Holy shit, that is garbage. Went and just bit the bullet and bought another Xbox and played it on an original Xbox again.
Right.
Ingor?
I didn't. I played it back when it first came out, and I played it when it came out 360. I do not like playing this game. I don't like playing any of the Silent Hill games. I love them, but they are way too much for me. So I went back and I watched a playthrough with no commentary, and just put on my headphones, turn out the lights. I had to do it in multiple days though, because that game is fucking too tense. And with headphones,
Yeah,
I
we
didn't have fun. I didn't have headphones when I first played it. Let's just say
yeah,
that back
we,
I never played the Xbox version too, so it was interesting watching for that. But
Yeah, we had we talked about it a little bit last week when we talked about what we played, but yeah, the audio design in Silent Hill 2, we'll get to that a little bit, but that's fantastic.
Yep. So
I
I bought
also
those finals, baby.
yeah, and I
Just
also played the
the music's great.
I need to grab
Everyone's-
those vinyls if they were was it a limited press,
I
I'm
think
assuming?
I think they're still available. Last time I looked, they were still available.
Yeah, if
Um,
not if you do see them, let me know.
They're
Um
on I am 8-bit, I think, or
okay, I'll
so.
look in a second. Um and yeah, I played this on Xbox. This was my pick. This
Armando.
was sort of a tie. It is sort of like a tie-in to PT, which I picked, not really knowing there kind of was a connection there. Um, I just knew I wanted to play a Silent Hill game. I didn't really feel like I wanted to play Silent Hill 1, and I thought 2 would be kind of the go-to one to go to like introduce everything in. Um, and yeah, this is one of the few games on Games Gone By that I picked that I have not had any experience with.
Interesting.
Um, which is ironic because now I own like every series in this game, every game in the series.
Every game in the series.
I'm only missing Book of Memories at this point.
Do you have the Pachinko machine?
Yes,
Fuck.
Do you have the arcade game?
yes.
You have my heart. Do you?
um,
Waiting for an answer.
yeah, I'm moving
For
on.
answer, prick.
I hate you.
I hate you. I fucking hate you.
So, let me hear you guys' history of Silent Hill 2 because I said that I don't have any history with this. Let's talk about
All
you
right.
guys. So, Gore, you're kind of going at it, so go for it.
All right. Well, I played it when I was a kid with a friend. We love playing horror games. So that's how I play most of the classic horror games is with this particular person. And we played the first Silent Hill. And while that's a terrifying game, and there's something a little bit more terrifying about that game than this, just because of the grungier look to the world, and also just the fact that everything is more polygonal, just creepier to me if it's more old looking. This game, when I was a kid, was probably the scariest game I've ever played. Silent Hill 2 is terrifying. And I was surprised, like I didn't have to play it again, which is good. 'Cause I didn't want to. Not that the gameplay is like the hardest or anything. If you know where to go, it's perfectly fine. Like fighting all the bosses are pretty easy for the most part, especially if you play on easy, obviously. But you don't really. That's not the point of the game. You don't really want to play the combat or anything. The combat's not made. It's not like Resident Evil 2 remake or even like original Resident Evil game where that's what you like to do. You like to go and backtrack and do all this stuff. I'm sure there's people like that, but it's really the world and the audio, like we talked, and the story itself that really gets you, especially in Silent Hill 2. This game messed me up hard when I was a kid. It was fucking terrifying.
I know the graphics are really good for the time too.
There's a part later in the game, and watching it again made me go, oh no. When you get to the historical society, where the game just completely fucks with you, where they just throw everything out of they just throw everything out at you. Jump scares, everything's dark completely. You're going down stairs that just don't fucking end ever. Loud noises. It's just like terrifying. And of course there's that story to back it up, so there's always a reason why these things are happening, which I appreciate, besides it just being scary visuals just for scary visual sake. And that's why everybody consider like a Resident Evil clone at the time, which I'm talking about the series itself, like Silent 1, and that's why I think it's better than Resident Evil, and it's
Much
something
better.
Yeah, and it's something that like Resident Evil doesn't have the story even close to of the complexity of Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, and even 4. The other ones can blow
There's
me.
complete theses on Silent Hill 2, which so funny enough, I'm gonna give him a shout out here. Let me pull up his YouTube. Actually, during Halloween, I visited my buddy's video game like cafe shop,
Right.
and we were just talking about stuff that we were playing, and someone had mentioned Silent Hill 2. I was like, oh, me and her are playing this like right now, and this guy mentioned that he's actually doing a video series like currently right now on Silent Hill 2, like a whole thing where he's going through about like Crime and Punishment, And actually, he's the one that told me about Blue Velvet, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That,
Yeah, it definitely has visual yeah.
yeah. So his YouTube is Ryan Lecoq, Ryan Lecocq, and it's Silent Hill 2 guided tour, and he's straight up. He's making like this is like a whole series he's making. But I've been watching like the first I watched about the first bit of the first one, where he's talking about like the books and everything. So far, I was actually kind of considering getting him on the podcast here, but I thought it might have been maybe too in depth for like an impression podcast. So I was thinking maybe if we ever do some sort of like series where we come back onto it, maybe that'd be kind of fun to like really delve even deeper on something.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe another podcast idea we want to go through like a Games Gone By Plus or something like that, you know. But yeah, sorry, continue. You were talking about
where I left off.
You were talking about it was fuck.
I started looking up his name, so I forgot what I was saying.
Silent Hill, good. Legacy wise.
Oh, that's right. That's what I was gonna say. Silent Hill, good.
Legacy versus Resident Evil.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Resident Evil is a fun game. It's a great series. I like the gameplay way more of Resident Evil games than I do of Silent Hill games. But Silent Hill games are way more about the story, about the whole. That's like when you figure out what's going on in all the Silent Hill games, and when I say all of them, I mean the good ones. It's like a revelation. It's like oh, it's just like all right, now I get it, and it was all building up to that. Where Resident Evil doesn't have that. It's just like this obvious bad guy. Oh wow, he's the bad guy. No fucking way.
Resident Evil is almost like one of those like mainstream horror movies, not in a bad way though, but like that. Whereas like straight up like Silent Hill is almost like a creep, you know, where it's like it just kind of fucks with you.
Yeah, and that's why like when Resident Evil the movie series came out and it was all action and stupid garbage, I was like, yeah, I mean that's probably what it would be as a Hollywood movie. But then Silent Hill had a movie, and it's just like, all right, it's nowhere near the complexity of an actual Silent Hill story. But yeah, two is not my favorite one. I love 3. I love it. Like when it comes to story and the ending of this game, it's my favorite of all of the Silent Hill games. But Silent Hill 3, I will never play 2 again. But I will definitely never play 3 again. Because there's something about that game that combines the rusty look of 1 with the horrifying creatures of 2, and then just amplifies both of those in 3. So it just takes the worst things that scare me in the first game and the worst things that scare me in the second game, and they take both of them and then go whoo, now it's bigger, and now I add way more terrifying sound effects and shit. It also has like the best main character of the game series, I think. That's why Heather's always in like shit randomly, like Dead by Daylight, because she's a good character, where James is unfortunately not a great character.
Well, he's
a great character, but he's
a great character, but he doesn't become a great character until the end. Most of the time, he's just if you didn't know the ending and you played it for the first time, you think James is the lamest person ever, because he shows up and does the stupidest shit, or says the stupidest shit, I should say, or he does the stupidest shit too. Oh, giant hole in the ground? Yeah, I'll jump down.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I'm just like, are we gonna keep going?
Yeah, I was watching it again because I've watched plenty of playthroughs in the past, like because I played it once. I'm good. I did it. I'm fine. I don't need to play it again. But watching it, I'll watch it any day. It's fucking. I love watching.
Are there good Let's Plays of it?
The one I watched was pretty good, but there was no commentary, so it was just someone playing it. They were really good at it. So.
There's a good Let's Play I saw a few years back of a guy that was doing a Let's Play while also doing like a history and kind of behind the scenes look at the creation of the series.
There's one that I really want to watch that, like, I forgot what the guy's name. He doesn't have like a ton of views, but it seems like it's pretty good because he like goes in depth with the game while playing it as well. It's not very old, so it might not be the guy you're talking about. But
are you thinking of Scribe?
No, he had a different name. I put him under my save to watch later list. Let me see, save later. Let me see.
Really
or watch later.
While Gore looks that up, I saw a clip of Silent Hill where one of the endings shows the dog being the mastermind of Silent Hill.
Yeah, spoilers. That's one of the endings. Sci-Fi Guy is his name.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's he doesn't have time, but he like I look at the video and I go like, this guy obviously plays a lot of Silent Hill games, and if he did, then these would be short playthroughs. And then I look and his Silent Hill 3 one's 10 hours long, so I'm like, in that game you could, if you're really good, you could probably beat it in like 4 or 5 hours, maybe even less.
I'm sure he just talks
so
about,
this guy like he gets in a room and he like pauses the game. All right, let me tell you about this room. I'm like, oh shit,
which is
here we
cool.
go.
I love when people kind of dissect.
Yeah,
to,
I didn't
like-
watch like any of that stuff for this Silent Hill though.
It's
So-
cool. It's cool
I
because
should have.
no, and that's what I was actually doing. And it's cool when people dissect video games to that level because I got that same vibe with Nier where I saw people like kind of just dissecting the shit out of Nier. Because you get that stuff with movies a lot, you know. You get people like really critiquing the hell out of people like really kind of
mainly horror movies. I feel like horror movies and games get it the most because
Would you-
horror, like there's a lot of mystery in horror, like more so than a lot of other genres. So immediately there's already a mystery with horror.
So-
and then everybody's like, I want to know, even if it's to the most basic, like I just want to know why everything's horrible. Like, and then they delve deep into why
so
everything's horrible.
So, like for example, this is kind of on with what Gore was doing. He watched This House Has People in It, and the
Fantastic series.
Series?
you mean the video?
Yeah, web series.
Is that web series? Wait, is it a web series?
There's no, not really. There's videos that are connected to it, but it's through the website.
It's part of a greater narrative.
Sure.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, watch those other ones then.
So wait. So total side tangent. So This House Has People in It. We watched it. It's the Adult Swim infomercial. Pretty fucked up. Kind of. I really not like horror. Like,
I love the shit.
It's really
I
funny.
laughed so hard.
It's
Yeah,
really
I
funny,
laughed
but it's very unsettling, which is my favorite kind of horror. I love
the
unsettling
end
things.
is really unsettling.
Yeah.
In the beginning too, and then everything else is just so fucking crazy. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. So if you go to the website at the end of there, it's like a whole ARG where it's got a bunch of like other clips of the same family, of other things to watch and stuff like that. It's a whole ass rabbit hole. Which again I do recommend you reacting to the
I'm gonna
explained
do that.
video. It's only an hour and 40 minutes, but expected to be 2 hours because there is another video to watch in the middle of that too. It does ask you to go watch. Huh?
It asks you to watch something else. All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, you'll see. I don't want to spoil it for
2
you.
hours. I'll save up 2 hours. Maybe I'll do it.
Dude, it's still fucking
Almost
weird. I
done.
actually watched like half of it again, and it still is giving me the heebie-jeebies just because like there's some fucking like there's literal in This House People in it, there's like frames of just really weird shit that you wouldn't tell.
Yeah.
Like there's like you'll see. I'm not gonna spoil
It
it.
sounds like some jump cuts of like when it goes to different camera feeds. I didn't see what it was. I
Where
never
it's
went
like
back
one or
to
two
it.
frames. There's like
Yeah, like
There's-
you can probably see in my reaction. I went, "What the fuck?" Like there's a
There-
couple times where it like goes to like black screen for a second. I think there was something there.
yeah,
or
no,
whatever.
there is something there. There's other things there. You don't
I'll
see.
wait until the
Yeah.
explanation.
But I was gonna say to the point about horror movies is even that, for example, one of the things that I don't know if it gets brought up in that video. I didn't watch the end, but for example, when you look at This House Has People in It, it's a lot about neglect too, where
Right.
the kid is neglected. You look at his bed. There's no bed sheets on there.
Yeah.
The grandma
So
doesn't
the girl on the ground is neglected for a little while.
Yeah, so like that.
Yeah.
Like I love that horror movies. Just kind
Grandma
of.
neglects the kid.
It's funny
yeah.
because I can't write horror for the life of me. I would love to write a horror movie or something like that, like a screenplay, but
Right.
it's so hard to like write horror, and that's why people like get away with the cheap shit like Annabelle. Like, oh, here's jump scare.
Yeah.
Oh, here's
But just
doll.
write one of those, and then at the end, like do something fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like,
and everyone's like,
the doll.
"Whoa."
You find out it wasn't the doll. It was just a
dog.
serial. It was the dog. It was just a serial killer. Your dog was supernatural.
Yeah.
It's a crazy guy. Do
But
something
I-
like that.
I
Those
also-
are the ones I hate the most. Where like there's a movie. You ever heard of The Boy? That movie, The Boy,
I've heard of it.
with the doll. With the doll, it's like, oh, he's
yeah,
possessed. or
Brahms.
whatever. Yeah, Brahms, the boy two, the boy one, not two. The whole movie's like, oh, it's a possessed doll. It's a possessed doll. You won't believe the twist though. I'm like, it's a guy, isn't it? It's a guy, and then you find out it's actually just a guy. It's not the doll possessed. I'm like, whoa, what a surprise! I'm like, I hate those ones. Don't ever write one of those, Adrian, because I'm immediately fucking just like, unless you make it work. Immediately I'll be like, Ooh,
I have
that's some Mario's asleep the whole time bullshit.
That's it. I have such a high respect for those like really well done horror movies, like the Vivitch,
Hereditary.
Midsummer, Hereditary.
Yeah.
even stuff like Creep.
It Comes
like,
at Night is also really good.
It
It
Comes
Comes
at-
at Night. You watch It Comes at Night, right?
I love it, and people shit
Love
on it for the obvious reason that if you do watch it, you realize why. But
It is a horror movie, but it's not any.
I
It's
fucking love that movie so much. Yeah, horror movies, they just have some weird like. Hey, Prometheus, gotta go. Have a good night. Games gone by. I appreciate you, man.
See ya.
I have
Thanks
such a
for
high
watching.
respect for horror because there's always some sort of like weird baseline behind it. Like there's a reason why, if it's well
Right.
done. And yeah, Silent Hill 2 oozes what's going on with there. It's like once like you peel it away and you beat it and you're like, huh. And then it's like an onion. You just peel back layers upon layers upon layers.
Shrek.
Yeah. David, what about your history with it?
So I have big fondness for the Silent Hill series. It's always been one of my favorite horror games. I started with Silent Hill 1, went into 2, and knew nothing about it, just other than the fact that, hey, there's another one. Of course, I'm going to play that.
What were your expectations
And-
going in? Like, was it you were thinking of it being a straight sequel to 1 or?
Yeah, I was kind of expecting a sequel because, I mean, that's just kind of what you do. Especially where at this point I still predominantly played a lot of RPGs and, some horror games that were available at the time, which basically amounted to Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Parasite Eve,
Clock Tower.
and
Clock
Clock
Tower.
Tower. Hell yeah. Still wish I had access to that. But no, and it's one of those things that,
Block Tower.
yeah, Block Tower. But no, it's one of those things that going into it, I was kind of expecting a sequel, and then realizing that no matter how much I kept trying to find little things where it's like, ooh, that's gotta be a clue to something going on, that this is going on with a continuation. Aside from, as we mentioned, the dog ending, there really is no major connection to Silent Hill 1. And it was a
Besides it being in
wild,
Silent Hill, I guess.
yeah. Besides it being Silent Hill.
It doesn't need to be though. Once you find out what Silent Hill really is.
Right.
Exactly. But that's why, as much as I do agree with you that I think 3 is still my favorite, I feel like part of the reason why 3 is my favorite is because it
You
built
love
up
1.
on what 1 and 2 had done.
Sure.
3 being a direct sequel to 1, and also a lot of the elements of 2 I felt were taken and refined even more for 3.
Right.
They learned a lot of different things while making 2, and there was a lot of different emotional weight that was kind of added to 2 that was really almost kind of corny in 1. I mean, granted, the 2 still had its corny fucking moments, but there
Yeah.
was a lot refined for 3. And so that's why I feel like as much as 3 I still feel is the best one, it's better appreciated after having played 1 and 2.
Yeah. Well.
Um,
Yeah, and I plan on going. My next one will be 1, and then I'll go back to 3.
Hell.
So let's.
Should we go through the story? If we
Yeah,
can?
let's talk about what the story. Let's go for that.
All right. Because that's the big part. Because we could talk about. You want to talk about gameplay first, and then get into the story? Because I think this. Oh, you okay?
Yeah, my
Oh.
fucking chair.
Oh, real death caught on tape.
So I keep getting thrown off by you fucking PlayStation nerds because I don't realize how many fucking tank games there are.
Oh yeah. Well, there's only this. Resident Evil games, of course. I think.
No, you know what's
did
throwing me off?
Haunted Ground have it?
pretty much anything silent.
Here's what's throwing me off.
Yeah.
It's not just tank controls. It's those camera angles that are really
And Unimusha.
fucking
Yeah.
like even like
Yeah, no, in Silent Hill it's the worst because they're not fixed camera angles. Is the
but
problem.
even like fixed anything that's not like a really intuitive camera, I'm just really thrown off by because I don't have any reference of time in this stuff, right? Because I never owned a PS2, so I'm like I'm coming off like Mario 64 knowing that free controlling a camera, even though it's like Mario 64 is not free controlling, there's still like kind of like blip, blip. Anyway,
you move it. Yeah.
and Banjo Kazooie kind of, like
Right.
I'm coming off these games like, just camera is movement of camera in a intuitive way is just a thing, right? And so when I went back to Devil May Cry 1, when I went back to now Silent Hill, where it's like these cameras are just like not movable, it's like you're just dealing with them, like, oh, this is so weird. So it's like throwing me off for a loop. It's
God
like
of War is the same way too.
Oh, it
original
is.
God of
Yeah,
War
yeah, yeah,
games.
it is. It is. I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, I was thinking of another one too. Like all this stuff is throwing me off so hard. I'm not even. And again, I'm not like taking it, like knocking on it, but I definitely know that people that do complain about Silent Hill 2, the camera is something. Sometimes it
The
works.
camera's the only part where that actually might be the one reason why it's so scary. To be fair,
Yeah, no.
at
Sometimes
times,
it works with you because
besides
like,
the audio,
dude, when it's dark and you hear
you
Pyramid Head
can't
running after
fucking
you and you can't look, you're just
you
like,
fucking like,
yeah, you're just like, I'm running, I'm running, I'm running, I'm running.
dude, Pyramid Head is top 5
He's a
scary
bad bitch.
motherfuckers ever. He's a bad bitch. Yeah, that's better said. So, that's a bad bitch.
So tank controls threw me off. Like I was fucking flabbergasted for the first like 5 minutes of that game. And then it doesn't tell you how to move or control or anything. It's straight up just like,
Disaster Report also has that too.
it's funny because I was explaining to the girlfriend how far we've come in tutorials with video games and how they're controlled. So like during PT, I think we mentioned how there's a photo on the ground with R3 written on it, and that's the tutorial to realize that you can't look at it. It says R3, or you push R3 and you zoom into the photo. You know, that's the intuitive way of where tutorials are nowadays. Whereas Silent Hill 2 is like, fuck it, it's like kicking the bird out of the nest. All right, go, bitch. And
The only thing it gives you as a lead up to like you can interact with that is that James will look at it, go like, we're going. Did you notice that? You noticed that, right? He looks at the things.
Yeah. But like I didn't even know until you mentioned it, because we mentioned I only got to the apartment for a while, that I didn't even know I could look at my health because I just never thought about pushing back. That just did not occur to my head, and I'm like, how do I know my health? He's like, oh, just check your stats screen. I'm like, what?
Well, I think that kind of comes with the fact that at this point they're still expecting you to just read through the manual and figure it
That's
out
fair.
for anything
That's
you
fair.
need.
That's true. A lot of the info was in the
Jeez,
manuals back then.
Look at this fucking manual, actually.
Yeah, look at that manual, baby.
But yeah, so control wise, it's very interesting. It was
Now, real quick question.
Sure.
Did you guys play it on 3D mode or 2D mode?
Well, I didn't play it, so.
Well, you didn't play it, but Adrian, did you play it on 3D mode or 2D mode?
I don't know either. No.
I don't remember.
In the option setting under control schemes, there's an option for 3D or 2D, and it alters how you move. So 3D is the traditional kind of tank control.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. They misspelled something? They said something messed up?
No, but this is hilarious. I don't know if you could see this. Let's see.
Yeah, Xbox controller.
Read what the buttons are labeled.
I can't see them yet. You might want to read them because I can't. It just says button.
It just says it points at X button, A button.
A button. Well, just in case you don't know.
Anyway, sorry. So tank controls are for what?
So it's set by default to 3D mode, which 3D is the traditional style tank control. But there's another option for controls in there called 2D mode, which it completely removes the tank controls. And what it does is it makes it so that way any direction you point the stick is where you're going to run to. The way it tries to balance it is by trying to keep your movement in line with your camera is facing, though. So it's a little bit of a quick learning curve to kind of understand that you're going to initially always try to run towards the camera.
I don't remember that. Oh.
But once you get
so
used to
you're saying
is
is like
is
if
that
James
only on the Xbox version?
I believe it may be because that's the version
I played on PS2.
So you're saying if James is looking forward, up will always move him that way.
Yes.
I'm gonna
look.
I'm gonna mess around.
It's like Heavy Rain.
I'm gonna mess around with that right now because I have everything so connected. Continue talking though.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Heavy Rain does the same thing. Wherever you're looking, you move. Right? You have to like move your head or whatever. Kind of like that.
But yeah, I found that to be so much faster for movement and to be a much better control scheme.
Eventually, I got it.
Okay.
Eventually, I got it. It wasn't a big deal. Like after a couple of hours.
Yeah. Tank controls take a little while to get used to, but you know, I don't mind them at all, really.
I don't mind them either, but at the same time, if I have a better control option, I'm probably going to go for it. That was one of the things I always thought was kind of amusing for the back of the Xbox box is it mentions you can use an arcade stick with this game as kind of like a weird feature of like, oh yeah, the way I've always wanted to play my survival horror games with an arcade stick.
Arcade stick-a-doo. Stickerino.
So, let's talk about the story now.
All right, All right, so gameplay wise, it's not like but we'll talk more about
Gameplay wise, it's actually interesting because of how customizable the puzzle can be.
Yeah. You could customize the action and the puzzles separately. So action always put on easy because that's not why you're here. Unless you want to do it on hard to see how fast you can do it. Through it. But all they do is give you way more enemies.
Yeah, and that's fucking. Oh.
Yeah,
it's a lot more enemies, and man, they take a lot more hits.
Yeah,
they are
exactly.
sponge shit.
But that's the thing. Like I know a lot of people are gonna like that because that's more challenge, and also it gives them like more of an actual survival horror feeling. Because I know one thing about this game is that at a certain point you have enough ammo for fucking like anything they throw. Like ammo and like even health at times is just like not a problem.
Yeah, if you do any exploring at all, you are not wanting for anything in this game, which I feel like is probably because definitely going to what Silent Hill 1 was like, they were a lot more scarce, I felt like, in Silent Hill 1 with resources. So I feel like they probably went back and like, let's make sure there's a little extra here.
That's why I also think they knew that the gameplay wasn't the first thing they wanted to, I don't know, like focus on when they were developing it. Like not the main thing, like make it work, make it feel good enough for the time, obviously, for one of these type of games, but really focus on the story, the atmosphere, the world itself, all the different set pieces, all that stuff. So yeah, okay, so gameplay we don't need to talk about.
That's so much better, dude.
Right?
That's so much better. Holy
try
shit.
it out.
That
I need to try it out one day. I need to hook up my Xbox again.
That is literally like,
isn't that wild?
it's worlds better. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, nice. I played the Xbox version, but I never played through it before. I guess I'm assuming that's also on the 360 version, right?
I'd be confused if it was not.
Yeah, I mean it has all the content for the Xbox version, so I'm assuming that's in there.
Yeah,
Has
holy
the,
shit.
Has
All right.
has the Maria stuff in it. So.
I was gonna say or ask, is the bonus scenario worth playing?
I never played it, but I've seen it, and it didn't seem like it's really. It just adds more for Maria's character.
Yeah.
If you even consider her really a character,
I kind of
it's
want to
very
play.
weird with that.
I kind of want to play now just with that control scheme because oh my god, like that. That's so much better.
Yeah, you might as well play that part too. But just talk.
It's only like an hour to go through that, so.
Yeah. It's just you play as Maria.
Sure.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I saw that.
But,
I saw it in the back of the box.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So the story wise, let's just get into the story. So the story itself, it's very bizarre. So, I did go back. I was like, super excited to watch the differences. You know, the differences of how each game, or how the HD version versus the original version were, especially with the voices, because you know it's like these are just normal ass people they hired for Silent Hill 2 versus getting Troy Baker in for James and
they also did the mocap too. So
yeah, and I agree is that I don't think the voices fit in the HD version.
No, because it's like Mary's voice actor is not even close to as good. Like I think Mary's voice actor is really good, especially when she reads that letter at the end.
Yeah,
I think
that letter is
very
really
well
good.
Just, ooh.
Like, and it's weird. James's actor, not to say he's a terrible actor. I think he was just directed to be like that. And there's glimmers of good delivery, just here and there. At the end, I felt like there was a little bit with the two pyramids. It was like It was like, all right, that's good, but most of the time, his delivery is the same. He's like, "What are you doing?
It's so.
Where's Mary?
It's so.
What's going on?"
Kyle mentioned it. It's so unsettling, though. Too. Is like
it is unsettling.
That just adds to it.
But also, you're supposed to be on this journey with James, and you kind of want to see what happens with his wife. But when you're creeped out by your main character, you don't really want to. You don't care. Immediately you're in a bad position with your own character that you're controlling. Just because he acts so fucking weird and does stupid shit.
He was better well acted. Everyone else would say the same though, you know, where it's like everyone else is really like just a little thing was
I'm
off.
sure Troy Baker does a great job, but
have you heard
it's just not. I played the first couple hours of it, and it sounded fine, but there's not that many cutscenes.
It's very gruff and like.
I'm sure Troy Baker knocked that out in like 2 hours because there's not that much dialogue really.
Sure, and I'm sure he knew it too.
Voice dialogue.
But it's very gruff, you know. It's very deep. As is the Mary voice actress too.
He sounds like a
smoker.
Like
the Mary voice actress, if I remember correctly, is The Major's voice actress from Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
I did not like her voice acting in that, but I thought she was great in this. So hey, I always found her voice acting in Ghost in the Shell to be. Wait, in the movie or in the show?
In Standalone Complex.
Okay, never mind. No, I think that's a different voice actor. So yeah,
Yeah,
in the
it is.
movie, if you watch the movie in English dub, don't just watch it in Japanese.
It's a little
Herself.
stilted in English. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very still, especially her. It just kind of not ruins the movie, but
So let me ask you guys this, since obviously Silent Hill 2 is kind of like one of those games you have to really dissect and kind of like have a almost, I don't want to be in like a pretentious way, but like have kind of a understanding of just media and story when
yeah,
you
you definitely need to have
So
some
what-
sort of understanding.
right. So what did you guys get out of it when you guys first completed it?
Well, I remember as a kid not really understanding it. Like, not that I was confused at what happened at the end. I was just like, I remember me and my friend were thinking like we were expecting not something like Resident Evil, because we also played Silent Hill 1, and Silent Hill 1 has a pretty dark ending too.
But Silent Hill
still-
1 definitely was a lot more direct because
Yeah.
that was more like dark cults and magic, and this was very psychological.
I remember we were really weirded out because we didn't play it until I think 4 is already out a little, like it was already like maybe a year old. So we were convinced that means Silent Hill 3 was already out, but we didn't really know. Like, that was back then when we had magazines. That was about it. I didn't have a computer really. Like around that time, I didn't get a computer for myself until like a little bit later. So it was like one of those things where like we would go in and the most we would know is from whatever we read on the back of the box or whatever, or
Sure.
we read an instruction manual or we played the game, or if we read it in a Game Informer. That was like my game. That and EGM, those are my two magazines. But and I didn't have older issues, but whatever. But yeah, like I feel like the first time I played it, I just didn't get it. I remember not getting it, but I think I was intrigued, but I was also a little
You
let down
knew something was there.
Yeah, and I don't remember being sad or anything, so I'm not 100% sure if I knew exactly what like happened, because it doesn't spell it out immediately, but
No.
it like you see him like doing something with his wife, and you're like, all right, and I definitely did not get when I was a kid that the monsters were like depictions of his like grief and stuff,
Right.
and like him being very
Horny at the hospital.
horny as hell. He horny, man. He liked those legs. And I didn't get Pyramid Head was supposed to be his punishment, even though I think he says that, right? I don't think I got that as a kid, but I did get like his wife got killed. And he killed his wife. She was sick. That was obvious.
All right, speed run the whole story. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ending. There's not much of a story when it gets right down to it. Like you could actually probably all the cutscenes you could fit in about 20 minutes, like in this game, maybe 30 minutes. But
It's a lot more than that, actually.
is it? Because you have to add all the times where James looks at something and goes, "What is this?" and he reads the whole story. You have to add
Especially if
that's
you
good.
add
That's
especially if you add the multiple endings too.
Yeah, the multiple endings.
Yeah, the multiple endings alone is like 40 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. And that's where you get most of your cutscene is like the ending. I feel, but not most. You get like a big chunk of story revealed towards the last hour of the game.
So you knew something was up, but you didn't get it, David. What did you think?
I was like 14, 15, maybe.
Sure, and no one really expects that out of that.
Yeah.
That's fine. David,
Yeah,
you
that was
were
definitely-
you were 35 when you finished that game. How'd you think?
Yeah, I was 87 when I finished Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
And
Arthritis,
It's one-
but
no, it's one of those things that back then I sure as hell really didn't get it. Because I mean, I was playing a lot of games like Fear Effect, Resident Evil, Parasite Eve, where it's like I understood the baseline level. All right, I killed that person. This person's bad. Bad magic shit's going on. And like the subtler themes definitely missed out on me until later years of replaying it. But definitely, this is one of those games that going through it, you every time you go through it, you'll learn something different, and something clicks in your head that perhaps didn't click the first time around. And it really is a fantastic game for revisiting because of that.
right.
And like I said, I love watching those thesis videos, and they really kind of dissect as much as they can about it.
Yep. There's a lot to dissect.
So
Like pretty much everything you look at has something to do with the story. In some
Yeah,
way.
that's-
You know?
that's one of the comments I'm gonna make eventually was that there's no unintentionally placed thing in this game.
No, there's not a single thing. Even the puzzles, like even the optional puzzles that you find, like those things are just like there's a reason for it, and maybe it's not exactly based around James himself, but it has something to do with maybe another character, or has something to do with the town itself, or
I do
just
wish.
the overall not feel like the whole point of the game, I guess. Not point, but whatever.
I do hope going into 3 that the puzzles become less obtuse or random.
Nope.
I think
Okay,
they're more obtuse.
I don't like
Am
the
I wrong
obtuse
by
one.
thinking that they're way more obtuse than the
Ob-
third one.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Actually, I should say, how about this? Less obtuse and more. I just don't like random ones where it's like, all right, now you got to guess this thing over and over again, and eventually you'll get it.
Well, which one were you having a problem with?
No, I wasn't having a problem with any of them, but some of them were kind of annoying.
There's only one I remember actually. You have to like guess it, and that's the one where you go in the room, your flashlight dies,
Yeah,
then the bugs
that's
show
the
up.
random one.
That one you don't guess, but you see like three codes.
But you have to
or,
guess
like,
from there.
We have to guess from there, so you have to go. But there's not that many.
There's
You can do
that.
it.
There is it's not random in easy or normal, but apparently it's random on
Well,
hard or above. Is the one with the faces where you have to move the thing. That becomes random if you put it on a higher level. The puzzles.
Okay. I think I almost want to say we had a strategy guide. I think we did.
That wouldn't mind, but some of them were a lot of fun. I really like the.
My friend used to get a lot of strategy guides.
I
It was
probably
my friend's copy of
I
Silent
don't
Hill.
like Cheat CC or something like that back then.
Because I actually have a strategy guide for Silent Hill too, but it wasn't my.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I got it from like a lot of strategy guides I bought recently. But...
I really like the puzzle with the hanging bodies.
Oh yeah, that one you really have to go through because that was the cool thing about watching a playthrough. I could actually do the puzzles along with this guy because he was actually like, or gal, I guess, I don't know, but he was like going through it and just reading each one. So I was actually I could pause it and go like, oh yeah, oh there you go, nice. That's what I do with the Zero games.
That bottom part right there, I drew out.
All right, nice. Yeah. So you have to pull the one that's innocent, which is that's messed up. Man. And I think they're randomly like put in different places, right?
Yeah, there's quite a few that are done randomly.
Yeah, so it's not always the same one. You always, yeah, and I think they switched the names of who's the actual innocent one too, right? Like for some, it's the arsonist, right? And then
it was the swindler for me.
Yeah, okay. So the arsonist was for the playthrough I watched.
Yeah,
So,
I think it depends on just the difficulty level.
No, I think it might just be random. No, because they switch it up every time you play it. So next time you play it won't be the swindler anymore. It'll probably be something else, and you have to read each one, and like they'll probably switch it around. Where
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe it is the difficulty.
I think that one might be one of the difficulty one based, but I know there's like whenever you had combination locks, most of those were always randomized.
Yeah. Especially the keypad we were talking about before. That's randomized. It'll always be 3 different.
Does that fuck speedrunners up a little bit?
I'm sure.
Yes and no. As long as you know where to go to grab it, that's the kind of key thing.
Yeah, and those are quick. I'm sure speedrunners have figured a way out to like, all right, the code combo. I know.
It can only be 4 different ones.
Knock
like
5
that.
seconds off. I press it immediately, and I go beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
All right, beep 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 beep. Like they're really quick with it.
So yeah, let's talk about some of our favorite moments. So yeah, the
entirety of the historical society.
Yeah. So going into that was because that was also nighttime too, which fuck with you. You're like, oh god, it's nighttime.
Yeah, when you have to in
I,
Silent Hill. Fucking dark. I'm like, oh.
And the worst thing, the creepiest thing, I mentioned this before, I think maybe during PT, where just something just stands there, and the mannequin's just standing there until you look at them. Yeah. Oh, you walk right by them, right? Don't fucking do anything.
Fucking radio never shuts the fuck up.
Yeah, that walking down that hallway, I walked for about 15 seconds. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be some funny little like Mario staircase, right? I turned around. My girlfriend goes, "Why you turn around?" I'm like, "Oh, because it's probably gonna play a trick." I'm like, she's like, "No, you keep walking." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, the walkthrough says it's a long walk." I'm like,
"Oh, okay."
So I just kept walking. I thought they were trying to play a trick where like I'm gonna turn around and it's gonna be like
because it all makes sense. You're going. I mean, you keep going down and down and down.
Doom guy's gonna show up there. What the fuck you doing here?
At one point, I think if you look at the map, you see that you're like way below the lake of Silent Hill. I think, or something like that. Like you're like way below it. Like it doesn't make any sense where you are at all. None of it makes sense.
And it's all grimy and shit.
Yeah, everything's grimy. It's
Dude,
tripping.
So what were the jump scares that got you guys? I got one jump scare.
Oh, I could tell you the one that I still remember is the one in the bathroom during the historical society, which I think it's randomized because I think it might not happen for everybody. But there's one where you go into a
Yeah,
bathroom,
you
you go
knock
all the way.
once.
No, what I remember, and I watched the playthrough, and it didn't happen for this guy, and I had to look it up, what happens is that you I think you examine something, and then you just walk to the other end of the bathroom, and it just like a door slams really fucking quick and loud, and it's like one of the only jump scares where it's like a loud fucking noise, and that's it, that's the scare. There's no creature that shows up or anything. It's just a loud noise, and I remember that one scaring the shit out of me and my friends.
So in the walkthrough, it was knock once, walk away, and if nothing happened, then reset. So you walk in, knock once, and walk away, and you just hear a loud, that loud
Okay,
noise.
so the guy probably just didn't do that. Yeah.
The one jump scare that got me was
Silent when Pyramid Head shows up the first time. Like I was watching that, and when it happened, and it was like
that's
first
creepy.
time you see him,
But
because you hear your fucking no, I'm talking about like the first time he actually encounters you. Like he's just there, like he just kind of shows up.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
No, but the one that got me with Pyramid Head, the two that got me actually, the one was on the roof. After I read the diary,
Yeah.
and
Knocks your ass out.
yeah, my girlfriend just played a prank on me. She was like, "Oh, just go to the doorway." I'm like, "I'm going at the doorway," and then I just see him like, "Ah!" He was like, "Nah." He's Spartan kicks your ass down, and then the second one was when you're walking in there with Maria, and all of a sudden Pyramid Head's just there. I'm like, "All right, run!"
Yep.
Now it's time to
Yeah,
run.
and you have to escort her. Fuck
Yeah.
that. I don't remember having a hard time with that as a kid though.
No, it wasn't hard, but I just hate escort.
Yeah. Like I hated escort missions when I was younger. Like now I still don't like.
I'll do.
All right, we're back.
Bye.
What the hell was that?
So Pyramid Head's not happy with that.
What the hell?
All right.
For a second, hold on. Keep talking.
Scary. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know why. For Skype, for some reason.
No, it turned off for a second. That was weird.
Yeah. What the hell turned off? Like.
Pyramid Head.
Oh, he turned it off.
Yeah.
What? All right. Is everything okay though?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay. What was I saying though? Shit. God damn, I don't know what I was saying now.
Jump scares, the toilet.
No, I was saying something else. I forgot.
Pyramid Head.
No, I was saying something different.
Escort missions.
Oh, I was just talking about like I hated I hate escorting anybody in games, but
Yeah, same.
nowadays I'm okay with it usually, but like Resident Evil 4, fucking I hated.
I love how they give you an option
I
still
hate
though
it.
too. They're like, all right, you want to keep her here for a little bit? All right.
Yeah. And what?
Get in the dumpster, bitch,
Yeah,
and
put
stay
it.
there.
Yeah, you want to put her in the dumpster for a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, that still doesn't help because you have to fucking get her ass back anyway. Oh, you're all the way over there, and then fucking walk my ass over there. I mean, no, everybody's dead, I guess, so that's good. But fucking, I still have to get you. Even though you can't just get a fuck out of the dumpster.
So, David, what were your scariest moments for?
Jump scares don't really do anything for me. I just get annoyed by them more than anything else. But the moments that really got me in terms of just the dread and terror is honestly just kind of reading through the notes through a lot of it, just because there's always that dread of like picturing it, and is that going to be a thing that comes up? Like when you find the notes for Walter Sullivan, which I forgot that he was even mentioned in this game because he's the protagonist of 4.
Is he?
Yep.
Ooh.
And kind of reading through those notes for him, and then you find the grave. It's like, oh shit, all right. And you get all the other little notes of the suicides throughout the town, and as you kind of go through and read through the doctor's notes of all the shit that the patients were going through, that's the shit that really kind of builds up the horror in the back of my head, because you're definitely met with some horrifying, gruesome stuff, like the shit that Angela goes through, which actually is even worse than the novel. They did a book to coincide with the game to add to the lore. Yes.
How is
it? It's really good. It adds a lot more fucked up shit though. Angela especially just goes through even
Is this
worse
like
shit.
is this like a notable book, or is it gonna be hard to find?
I think it doesn't have a actual English translation. I think you got to find a fan translation for it. At least that's the way I originally read it.
That makes sense.
But it is really fucked up. Even more so what happens to her in the book. But no,
What
it's
happens to who?
Angela.
Angela. Yeah. Yeah. The way her character leaves the game is fucking messed up in this too. Her whole story is fucked up. But I mean, everybody's stories, I guess, is fucked up in this. Nothing happy happens in Silent Hill. I guess Laura's fine.
Kinda, depending.
She's
which
an
ending you
orphan.
get. Yeah.
What? Yeah. But
Oops, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say she ends up the least unscathed. I mean, the least scathed, I guess.
Well,
Yeah,
next,
the most
unscathed.
well, yeah.
Most unscathed. Yeah. Like, I guess you could say if you get the good-ish ending, then you're like our boy James is okay towards the end. If you get to one of the worst endings, then you ain't okay.
Well, that's the thing that I like about this is there's no real inherent good or bad ending. I mean, there's some that you could definitely argue are worse than others, but
Yeah.
it's left ambiguous on what should be the real answer. But going to the horror, that's the other thing too that I liked about the horror in Silent Hill 2 is there's so much that's horrifying in retrospect. Like using Angela as an example, when you're kind of walking through and you meet her and she's got the knife, it's like, oh, hey, calm down, don't kill yourself with that. And she gives that to you. The two big elements for that being, the picture that you see on the ground. It's like, oh, it's her and her mom, and then there's a cut in the photo, and there's the dad there. All right. And you don't think anything of it until you realize her whole story. And then it just fills in all the dread of thinking back to that picture. Same thing with the knife itself and the kind of imagery and symbolism that goes along with Pyramid Head throughout this game. There's just so many little things like that throughout. And like when you find the banister that has the images of the two Pyramid Heads and the individual being hanged in between them as it correlates to the kind of final boss fight.
I'm trying to buy the. I'm gonna probably just print out because I can't find it. I want to print out a full ass like poster or make her painting like a version of the Misty Day.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, that looked amazing. Like as soon as I literally within 3 seconds of seeing it, like I want it, I paused the game and I tried looking for it. I can't find a poster of it, so I'm gonna probably I download a high res version of it, so I'll probably just get it from one of those custom places and find like a nice like antique frame for it. But dude, that painting like so fucking good.
yes,
Like that's such a good encapsulation of everything that's going on with Pyramid Head and just fucked up shit.
Pyramid Head
going
and
on.
the fucking box ladies or
Box lady, and then you see like one like foot hanging out from the
I don't
bottom
think
of the
they're
ground.
ladies, but for some reason I think they're
Um,
ladies. I don't know.
Yeah, no, a lot of the
A lot of the characters you fight are female.
yeah,
yeah.
and a lot of the surrounding shit is just
He wants to make sexy. Yeah. James just wants some puss. Just give him. Maria, where you at? Oh,
All right, that's the height of our analysis here. James just wants
Yeah.
some puss.
how come no analysis didn't say how it was? All right,
Eddie. Why didn't you?
Eddie, give him your puss.
Which that's actually again things that are horrifying in retrospect. The last few things I want to note on. Also, towards the end, we do have a viewer submitted review from actually Green Superflash,
Nice.
who is not joining us tonight. It looks like, but two other things that were really great and horrifying in retrospect. And speaking of Eddie, which kind of remind me of it, we
You
kill
remind me of
him.
him.
Yeah, thank you. We kill Eddie, despite the fact he's never actually killed a person throughout the whole story. He kills a dog, which is horrible.
Well-
Definitely fucking deserves to be in Silent Hill for that.
Sure.
But he mentions that he kneecapped another football player,
Right.
which is still also pretty bad. But he's throughout kind of presented as this kind of slightly unhinged individual and gets more and more so as the story progresses, right up to this point where it sets up this thing that feels like it's ambiguous that he killed someone, but he really didn't by the end of it. And so it's just kind of one of those things where it makes you wonder if he would have tried to scare you off or if you legitimately had to kill him. But regardless, you have to kill him.
I mean,
It's
he
up in the
shoots-
air if
he
he's-
shoots at
he's
you.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was gonna say he shoots at you first, so self-defense. But technically, he was trying to kill you. So
Yeah.
But also, like, it's up in the air if he actually killed anybody, because you see him a couple times and he's like, "What? He was already dead." And by the way, the bodies that he kills are just James, like the character model.
that's
James.
what I was going to bring up.
So that's why, like, even the
In front of the TV.
Yeah, the one in front of the, but also I think on the dinner table too. And also the next time you see him, where there's a bunch of dead bodies on like the ground or whatever, like strewn about. I think there's like 4 or 5 dead bodies. Those are all James's character models.
Also, in the beginning of the game, when you first come across one of the, I can't remember the name of the base enemy.
I was gonna say the strapped in guys or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're called like the Liar or something like that. Those, and then if you go up towards, it's like a dead end street. I can't remember the name of it. There's like this van that you'll find a dead person with a bunch of memos around them that just tells you to run from it. That's also James's model as well.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Where's his director commentary from?
I'm saying.
Where do I find the director commentary? Because I remember there's director commentary.
I think it's on the Xbox version, isn't it?
That sounds
No, like there's things you can watch online too.
Yeah.
Of him just talking about it. So that stuff's interesting. But,
I'm sure there's a lot more to talk about.
oh no, there's tons. We're not done. The fuck?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure there's no
we'll
quiet
wrap it
spots
up.
here.
I know you want to go to bed. We ain't done. But yeah, no, there's a lot. Like we talked about Angela, we talked about Eddie, we talked about we didn't talk about Laura really. Laura has always confused me, and maybe it makes sense like if I really went into analyses. I have watched videos like that before, but I haven't watched them now, so I might have forgotten. But Laura's character is a little weird because she is real, right?
She's real. She's innocent. Therefore, Silent Hill is literally just a place.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. Everybody else sees something different. Like Angela sees fire everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why when James and her are on the staircase, he goes, "It's really hot in here." Like, why would you say that if there's fire everywhere? But he doesn't see the fire. He just feels the heat. And I get it's insinuated she burned down her dad's house, right? Is that insinuated?
It's insinuated, but it didn't happen. That's one of the things the creators confirmed is it didn't happen that way.
Okay, all right. And then Eddie sees people just laughing at him the entire time. So it's like everybody's fears, I guess, are just like coming out to because he keeps talking about everybody keeps laughing at me and shit, and he just like keeps walking like leaving and shit with. So he doesn't see the monsters. Obviously, it wouldn't really make sense. The one thing that I thought was weird though is that why does James see the daddy doorman guy? The abstract daddy, the Angela boss fight. Why does he see it after? Because why does he see it to begin with? Does he have daddy?
He sees it because it is physically there, but he sees it a lot differently than she does. That's one of the things that in the commentary they kind of clear up a bit, is that it's still a physical monster that is there in order to get both of them. And it's kind of overlapping his punishment with hers.
Right.
And so that's why they both see it and interact with it. But what she sees is actually a lot more horrifying than what he's even seeing.
Right.
And that's
because
why
I always assumed it was I guess it's supposed to be like a doorman or abstract daddy is the name of it. Yeah. I always assumed it was supposed to be like her dad on his deathbed or something like that. It always looked like it was like a bed or a table or something, and like something on top of it, which is kind of what you fight at the end of the game is with Mary.
Or Mary.
Yeah. So that always confused me. And also I want to go back to Laura. Laura talks about in this game, and watching this playthrough that I just did, I was like, oh yeah, but what's going on there? She mentions like knowing Mary when she just turned 8. She's talking about how Mary was there when she turned 8 and she had like a party or something like that in a note, right? Yep. And then she says to James that was a week ago. But so is that Mary she knew just a like a Silent Hill ghost? I'm assuming, but then why would she be there if James wasn't there? Is Silent Hill making?
So here's the thing. It's one of those weird territory questions where she met Mary.
Yeah.
It gets in this weird territory. She met Mary right before Mary had been killed.
Yeah, and then she so.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where it goes into the territory of she may not necessarily have a presence outside of Silent Hill too much before that. This is kind of where it goes into that kind of manifestation and redemption arc of it, because the only time she really has an ending is in the ending where he leaves. So it can almost be seen as when you go by her, by Mary's final lines of, I just want you to be happy, I forgive you, kind of just move on during that ending. It can be seen as him being given a chance to move past what he did and to kind of give another life a chance that he took away from initially.
Right.
I don't think there's a solid answer on that entirely. I'd have to look into it a little bit more.
I can buy it just being that because she met Mary before, her presence is still in the town in some way. Because Mary was at that town and she loved it, obviously. I could buy that. It's fine. I mean, there's little things that you can just let go. Like when you're doing weird ass puzzles where you have to hang a dude, I'm okay. Like it's like I can forgive some story stuff that might be like stretching or taking.
Sure, and what I think was wild when the girlfriend was reading the walkthrough to me
Yeah.
was that she was like, "All right, read this book. It'll affect your ending." Or like go in this room and read the wall. It'll affect your ending. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
that blew my mind. That like little things
Like
that you could just totally like literally walk by and not really look at can affect your ending.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a chain reaction. What ending did you guys get, or at least Dave? Which one did you get now?
I watched all the. I know the ending I got when I was a kid.
Which one?
Because I got the one where he speeds off, and I didn't know what happened. You just hear him like. I have to watch the ending again.
Oh, you got the in the water ending. He
Yeah.
drives into the lake.
Yeah, he drives into the lake. I know that now. I don't think I knew that at the time.
That's what I got.
He did say something about
We're together now.
we're together now.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Which is made even more.
That's the one you got?
After.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense for the first playthrough, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you know why? I know exactly why. Is I hit pretty much everything, but the problem is I had low health pretty much the entire game because I didn't know how to gauge health that well.
Okay.
So I was like, every time I had being red, I'd use a medium potion
Right.
instead of like a large one to go back into green. So I just kind of kept myself at baseline, and I was pretty dipped in the red the entire time.
Gosh, yeah, no, I was always popping off because I knew they give healing items like fucking candy into this game. So every time I got hit a couple times, I just pop one.
Yeah, they give you ammo and especially ammo, but they give you tons of medicine too, in different forms too.
And I wanted to go for the dog ending this time around, but because I had to completely start from scratch, I ended up doing the leaving ending, and then I just rewatched the endings to kind of refresh my memory on them. Man, did either of you guys go through?
I've seen all the
Yeah.
endings. I didn't watch them again recently. But
I
I've seen them all. To be honest, like besides the dog just in the control center, and he has the headset on or whatever, and he's looking at the screens. That's all I remember from that ending, which is weird. You think I'd remember that one the most because it's like what the fuck? And the UFO ending, obviously they always put those in there.
Right.
But like I don't remember much from that one. The UFO one, I think, isn't the character from Silent Hill 1 in there?
Yeah, he's with the aliens.
Harry.
They just knock him out and take him with them as well.
Which obviously there's a not canonical endings. Well, I guess UFO you can kind of argue because they're in every fucking game, right? So you can kind of argue that those might be the most canonical.
There's I forget what.
But all the
actually,
other
David, you know what's funny is remember that dude that did the I Love Bees ARG video?
Yep.
He did one on PT and Silent Hill 2's connections.
Interesting.
10 minutes long. It's a good watch. I
have a feeling Hideo Kojima is a huge. I have a feeling like it can't be a huge influence because of course he was making games before Silent Hill was even a thing. But I'm sure like later on in his career, just the more weirder he got with some stuff in Metal Gear and stuff, and even kind of creepier. I bet that was like an inspiration, like the Silent Hill series. So that's why when I heard he was making the game, I'm like, oh, that makes so much fucking sense. And of course, it didn't fucking happen. So
right, and I think it goes to say that even though PT would have been a Silent Hill game, it would have been a Hideo Kojima game more than a Silent Hill game, but it would have had those same thematical elements, and I think
it would have been way more of a Silent Hill game than the last three.
Sure, and I think the quote from one of the videos I watched, which put it very nicely, I thought, was that and I think it might have even been that one too that I'm talking about, was that the name Silent Hills is such a on point name.
Sure.
is that I think once and again, not playing these games, so I'm gonna try not to avoid anything if I do say whatever, is that as you continue forward in the games, you realize Silent Hill is not a place, it's
Mhm.
a
It's
thing.
a thing that
Everyone has their own.
reveals your darkest like secrets or whatever. So I was thinking like with the name Silent Hills, it was gonna be multiple characters that you follow maybe in a way.
So the
Just like
way he presented it was that because it's Silent Hill, it's convenient that you're in a place called Silent Hill, but Silent Hill is a manifestation of your like you said, your
yeah,
darkest things.
some
And
super
Silent Hills
stuff.
is sort of just pushing that narrative along where there's multiple Silent Hills.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe that did mean multiple characters, but that did
I
pretty
have a
much
feeling just
solidify
the way
that.
Hideo did Death Stranding, where he's just like casting all these. I bet that's what it was his idea. He just took what he did with Death Stranding, or what he was going to do with Silent Hills, and did with Death Stranding, where he's like, all right, let's get this Hollywood actor, this Hollywood actor. I bet it was gonna be like that, except with Silent Hill, and it was. You're probably right. There's probably gonna be other. It might not even been set in Silent Hill. It might have been called something else, a different town, but the whole idea of there being other places like Silent Hill is why it's called Silent Hills, because it's not. It might not be called Silent Hill, but it's the same.
It
thing.
is a Silent Hill.
Yeah. Was that confirmed? It is Silent Hill in PT?
No, I don't think anyone said anything, but
Yeah,
but that was kind
I
of
don't know, because you see like the one shot of the town at the end of the PT trailer, or I guess at the end of the PT, and it didn't look anything like a Silent Hill town. It looked like more just like a ghost
modern,
town, I guess.
yeah.
A more modern like looking town, except nobody's on the streets, I guess.
Right.
So it looks like now, because nobody's on the streets, because.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you should get that cough checked out. That's the Maria ending.
Well, that's what I was gonna wait to kind of
Yeah.
mention, is the fact that was.
I love
that's
that
probably
ending.
one of the most haunting of the endings.
I love that ending too, because I still don't know exactly who Maria is. Like,
She
I'm a little
is.
confused. Is she just a fucking like a manifestation?
I'm assuming
that is
yeah,
real.
she's not real.
No,
No,
he said, but she is real technically, because
She's
lives.
kind of real now.
I know she's not real because she keeps getting fucking killed and comes back. So, and it's supposed to be. I've heard other people talk about like whenever she dies, it's supposed to be a moment for him to reflect and actually accept what he did to his actual wife. That's why she looks like Mary. But at the end, she's just, if you pick that ending, she's just real. So I guess Silent Hill could conjure people up. Actually,
It can actually, yes, because there are supplemental materials that do talk about how sometimes entities conjured within Silent Hill will go out of Silent Hill to bring people to it.
Obviously, I guess it can conjure things. It fucking conjures pyramid heads and nurses and shit. So.
But yeah, no, that's one of those things that is one of the absolutely haunting endings in many games, really. Just because you go through this whole journey and it's like, okay, I killed my wife because as much as I did love you, I was fucking sick of you. You were ruining my life. You were sick. You couldn't meet any of my needs. And this kind of basically what I envisioned a better version of you being, what I wanted from you being. Now you're getting a little bit poof poof. Yeah, bitch, I'll do it again. I'll fucking do it again.
I'll do it again.
I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The cycle starts over.
Yeah.
Yep. That one's haunting, but it was also like, oh shit. It was like here we go again. It was like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's like,
Oh shit.
oh shit. Oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah.
And it's CJ walking into the mist.
So let's talk about that remake.
Oh, Shattered Memories? Okay.
No, not that. I'm talking about the HD remake.
Oh, I thought Shattered Memories is a remake of the first game. It's an actual remake. It's like,
well, the first game had a couple different remakes because it also had a visual novel remake on the Game Boy.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. I have the one visual novel one that came out on PSP. It's not.
I'm sure it's an expensive
remake.
game on Game Boy, isn't it?
Oh, sure. In Japan, it never came to America.
Oof. All right. So David, you've played a little bit of it, so let's talk about it and let's kind of grill into like why it's not good and what happened.
So
I could talk about it too because I did play it before. But
let's talk about it.
Do you want to start off a bit? Or then...
No, you played it recently, so go ahead.
Okay. So here's the thing with the HD remake that kills me the most. I mean, yeah, the newer voice acting is.
I can see myself in David's camera almost.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the screen there.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Can you? I can't see
boy
it.
there.
Wait, what was that? The Avengers? What was that?
Hell yeah.
Oh, is that British show?
Which British show?
The Avengers?
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
Oh yeah. Now that the girlfriend's not watching the stream anymore, yeah, I picked that up for her as an early Christmas gift.
She was watching the stream? Said all these horrible things. I would have said more.
Knows what I'm about.
So you can see, like, Gore, you can see yourself. Look.
I can? Where am I?
Yeah, look at that on his screen. Look at his screen.
I'm looking right. Well, maybe it's because I have it kind of small.
Right. Oh no, you're right
Right
there.
Yeah.
I need to make it bigger. Adrian, be smaller. Hold on. Oh, there we go. I see myself now.
Now give yourself about 10 seconds and you'll see yourself wave in a second. All right, continue about this, David. Look, wait.
All right, but yeah, so here's the thing: is with the HD remake, there's a lot of things with it that are just not the greatest. One, the cutscenes. They went ahead and they just stretched out the compressed video that they had from
You
the
didn't stop.
original and just stretched it out. They didn't bother
Hold
doing
on.
any kind of
Hold on.
mastering to it.
Corey, you didn't stop. David, turn your camera away. Turn your monitor away.
Sorry, go ahead.
Better.
All right,
Can
yeah.
stream even say that? I hope they could see that.
Oh god.
All right.
Oh, you
All
record
right.
this differently anyway, right? Make sure people can
No,
see
you'll
that.
see it. You'll see it on stream.
Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it.
Oh,
All right,
Classic.
they stretch things out.
Oh yeah, so they just stretched the video out for the cutscenes, so it looks blurry as shit and horrible.
Yeah, it looks really bad. I remember
but
the
I'll-
compression. I mean, the compression was already like if you upscale it and stuff, it's gonna look not great. But when you upscale it and then go, it's like, oh my god.
So those are stretched out, but then the not the cutscenes, the cinematics where it's like in game still is just clear, and they take away from like the cinematic
They
where it was like
over-polished them. Yeah.
Also, am I correct in saying that I think they only changed the James and Mary's voice acting, right? All the other voice acting is the same. Is that
most
correct?
of them they changed.
Yeah, most of them. I thought Angela's was the same.
No, I
Was it-
think Angela they changed too. I think they changed most of them because they wanted royalties for them being re-put out there, and they initially were like, "No, fuck you," but they eventually went ahead and created a contract.
Konami.
Like, hey, we'll all go ahead. We won't demand royalties, but we know the fans really want our voices, so just put them in there. We won't ask for anything. So that's why Silent Hill 2 has that, but Silent Hill 3 on it doesn't, is because they couldn't get in touch with a lot of the Silent Hill 3 folks, and some of the Silent Hill 3 folks said, fuck you, we want money.
Yeah. Which is a shame because the Silent Hill 3 voice acting is pretty good, actually. Especially Heather. I think Heather's really good in that. And from what the little I played of that, the voice act it's nowhere near as good. By the way, Silent Hill 3 has the scariest beginning to any game ever. Besides besides Dead Space 1 and 2.
I think I'm happy with the declaration Gore made with the monthly Gore, and the kind of thing that I've been doing is like, fuck these horror movies and games and everything having to be stuck in October. This year did not need to be restrained by anything, so I'm just like, fuck it. Let's just keep it going.
I kind of want to focus more on horror stuff. I love horror stuff, and I know a lot of people.
Year of Gore.
Year of Gore. Every year of Gore. But I always want to just do horror stuff. Like I like watch older horror movies that I never watch and review them, or just like watch random short horror films, or just
Gore the horror god.
I've been wanting to like do a commentary track for The Thing. Like,
Hell yeah.
I wanted to do that for Halloween, but I didn't get around to it. But like, I've been wanting to do stuff like that. But yeah, Silent Hill 2 playthrough is never gonna happen. So Silent Hill 3 one's never gonna happen. Silent Hill 4, I got those doll head baby things. I don't like those. There's a creature in there that has like 2 heads and it looks like doll head babies.
Oh, I think I seen like 3 seconds of that.
Dude,
I
they
saw
come at you
someone-
too. It's just,
'cause I saw someone
everything else
talking-
is like kind of like typical spooky looking things, and then that thing is a nightmare. It's like that's shit story out of like a Fatal Frame game. It feels like almost.
Yeah, is it
not.
like gray?
It's like black. I think it's like wearing like a black like
Yeah,
gown thing or something like that. It has like these long arms or something like that.
Yeah, I think I saw a clip of that because someone was showing like
You
they were
look-
saying, yeah, Silent Hill's known for its creepy monsters, and they saw like a quick second of someone walk towards it and someone did like a cut off scream.
I don't know what they're called. I'm gonna say baby monster. There you go. That's the first thing that popped up. Yeah, this thing. Oh, fuck that thing. What is it called? Twin victim. I'm the victim. Fuck that. Yeah, that's one thing we should talk about is that we don't know all the monster names off the top of our heads. I'm assuming. I think David probably knows them more, but I do like the names of these. You don't know it in the game, but they all have different names, and they all have like really. Some of them are pretty metal. Like of course you have red pyramid.
Legs stacked on legs are the mannequins.
Yeah, I think the first ones are patient monster or patient demon or something like that.
Yeah, we have the abstract daddy or doorman as I think the fans call him, but I think the official name is abstract daddy, which that sounds like a fucking band name. Abstract daddy.
So they call David in bed.
Yeah,
that's how I roll.
Abnormal daddy, maybe.
So yeah, so there's that. Then the fog, obviously being one of the biggest complaints about the HD remake.
Now playing it again, and I didn't. Watching it again. Wait, you know what? Can I just say one thing? Is that a lot of these games gone by, I realize I don't play the games, but I realized that like four of them.
If you have played it before, you don't.
I've played them before, and at least I go back and fucking watch them and make sure. Like I watch playthroughs, and this one, all the other games I could have, for sure, I could have played those games. This one, there's no way in hell I would play it. No, there's no way. I'm too much of a pussy to do it.
Stay tuned when David does Silent Hill 3.
David probably had his girlfriend.
No, I didn't play this one with her.
Oh, they're gonna say you didn't play this one. I'm lying the entire time.
No, I didn't play this one with her. There's a lot of themes in this one that like, that's probably won't be a good fit.
Why? That's a date game, I think. Come on.
The scene you guys mentioned, it didn't really come off that like as extreme. I guess just now, just in.
Oh no, I don't think it's as extreme as.
I remember it being worse than it actually was.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it all the time. So when you guys hinted at it, I knew what it was, and I came to it. I'm like, that. I mean, it doesn't really look like much nowadays.
No, because everybody describes it as him doing something else, and obviously he's doing something sexual, but it's not. It's you just like.
Yeah, it's a lot more implied than it is direct. But,
hey, later on, the doorman grabs your face and does something to it. So
yeah.
I don't know what he's doing. Maybe it's sexual too.
Right.
I mean, he was a molester, I'm assuming, or abuser at least. It's insinuated that he molested.
Oh, it's outright basically said that he raped her. Which is one of the theories is that the 23 holes with the pistons going through in the room.
Oh,
the amount of times.
That's right. Yeah.
God
Yeah. Where you
it.
see the pendulum things in the holes and stuff.
Yep.
It's a good time. So that's why I didn't want to play it with his girlfriend. So it's not Resident Evil where it's like, oh, look at the big monster man. Who's chasing
spooky.
you? Ooh. This one's like, she was molested. He's a child murderer.
Life sucks. Shitty things
this guy
happen.
You're reading about is a child murderer.
You yourself, you just fucking murdered someone because
you're a wife murderer that wanted to fuck. The little girl's an asshole. No one wants that. She's an asshole.
She was a hero,
shows up. Yeah. She was the best character though, honestly.
Like the voice acting was so bad though.
I know.
So bad, especially the end. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Yeah, you can tell it's like an older woman too doing the voice.
Yeah.
Which they usually do that. They get a woman to voice the younger characters, especially boys, because I guess we all sound like little girls.
It's so bizarre though, like especially like the voice actress for Ash from Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's just so weird. I love seeing it though.
Timmy Turner is
that too.
What's her name? Lollipop Chainsaw. Yeah, Tara Strong. I don't know why Lollipop Chainsaw was the first thing that popped up.
Now we are next horror game from David.
Lollipop Chainsaw? Oh, I'm down. That's like a 4-hour game, too. We can get through that quick.
I almost put it on my list, but I didn't.
Lollipop Chainsaw is fun. Anyway.
No, I still have... There's one game I'm still thinking switching it up, but...
With Grim Fandango?
No.
His
I
next
have
one,
my whole list for the year planned out.
David really wants to just announce his whole shit for the year, but I want him to at least have like some fun and like anticipation with announcing things.
Sure. I'll have my thing ready for next week though if you want me to announce it. Because I have 3 different games I want to do.
Let's just do it for when you do Enslaved. Well, no.
And then none of them are okay. So it's like because none of them are gonna be that long. The longest one's like 20 hours.
I got 2 that'll end up being.
And mine's
longer.
in February, right? My next one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I don't think besides like what Destruction All Stars and fucking.
Didn't we go through this last time where you're like, hey, there's something coming out at the beginning of next year, and then you look and you're like, oh wait, everything's coming out.
Yeah,
at the
but
beginning.
usually not a lot of stuff comes out at the beginning of the year. Like we did this before. Like November is fine. We have like one exclusive game on PS5. That's it. And then they like all those games. I'm like, oh shit. It's just Demon Souls 2.
All right, well, I guess
alright.
December's safe, and then Cyberpunk's like, nah.
Queen. It's like fuck. You're good with Cyberpunk though, because I'll probably play Grim Fandango early December. Honestly, that's a good in between. That's a good. It's like Nightmare Before Christmas. That's a good game in between Halloween and Christmas, I think.
Yeah.
Plus,
I'm only
I feel
playing
like
Grim
it's definitely
Fandango
a good wind down game.
Yeah, it's like it still has the Halloween spirit, but it's also fun. So it's like, you want some fun for Christmas, you know? You don't want daddy issues, wife issues, fat guy issues.
And go relate to that one.
Little
where it's like,
girl
those are
issues.
fucked up.
I did. Everybody laughs at me. Everybody laughs at me. Dog fucking laughed. Goddamn, that guy's knee laughed at me.
He was pretty unsettling when you first see him with the gun, though. He's just like,
He looked like a
just
Dead
put it
Rising
in his head,
like,
and bang.
Yeah, that's in the opening
Yeah.
intro video, which is great. But it reminded me of like a Psycho from a Dead Rising game.
Yeah. I would not doubt if that's where they got their inspiration from.
Yeah, just some of the
Psychos.
characters from Silent Hill in the past.
Yeah, I would not.
Also, shout out to James. Oh, everyone keeps making fun of me. I had to do something. You need help. James, this is not the time.
That's
to
what I'm
be
saying.
shut-
No, he
always
goes,
says stupid shit.
he
And I
goes-
get
he
he's
goes-
depressed and he doesn't care anymore. Really, that's what he says in the beginning. He says it doesn't matter even if it's bullshit or not. The letter, I'm still gonna go. It doesn't matter. Like so, you immediately know he's like he doesn't really care anymore. But like his voice acting doesn't really. As a character, you get that, but as a voice, you don't get that from him because he's always like bewildered by everything. He's like Jeff Goldblum.
He's got the
He's
same
like,
tone for everything.
Yeah, he's like quick every time. Everything he says sounds like a question.
And
Like-
and yeah, no, it was the quote was, I think, Eddie, are you nuts?
Are you nuts? That's at the end, I think, towards the end.
Yeah, when he's walking out with the gun, he's like,
where he has a gun, he's
"Excuse
like,
me?
I murdered everybody. He's like, "Are
no
you
one
nuts?"
takes me seriously. Are you nuts?
Hey,
All right, well, let me
you're
kill
nuts.
you.
It's like, fucking,
Hey,
like,
by the
even-
way,
even with the little girl's like, say please, and I'll unlock the door. He's like, yo, brat. It's like, yeah, that's gonna make her open the door.
who got the long ass sword?
Oh,
As a
that's
weapon.
great. That's a Pyramid Head sword.
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't know it slowed you down, so I would like just wait. I'm like,
Yeah, you
I-
don't want to use that.
I'm like, all right, bitches. I'm just falling to mannequins. I'm like, all right, come over. I'm coming to you.
Dude, Pyramid Head has a hard time. You think James is gonna be able to lift
I'm
that bitch
coming.
like he's from Monster Hunter?
I slapped Eddie with that thing though for sure.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, the playthrough didn't do that, but he did get the blade. He just went up to Eddie and just fucking shotgunned him a bunch.
It's a great weapon to use on New Game Plus because on the next run through you can get this item called the Hyper Freeze, which allows you to basically just kind of like almost like bear mace people, but it just kind of freezes them in place for a while. So you can just run up to enemies,
That's the
bear
horror.
mace them, and then just take the fucking sword and start hacking them apart.
All right,
And
So
then the
that's-
next one, you
that's
get the
where-
Mega Buster.
yeah. That's where Silent Hill needs to stop, though. But I guess it has stopped permanently because they ain't making any more games. But that's where I just don't. Because that ruins the story. I think when you're here's my big sword that freezes enemies. It's like it does massive
because
damage.
Silent Hill 3 is the best for that, though. You get a whole magical girl transformation weapon in that one.
Sure. Yeah, I do know about that, but Silent Hill 3 is a little bit less serious than 2, like especially towards the end. It's don't get me wrong, it has its 2
It goes
is
back
depressing.
more to the supernatural side. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah, way more.
Well, I
And
assume
I love,
so, just because the first one is right.
Yes.
Okay.
and you know it's a sequel. Everybody knows.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know if Silent Hill 1 had a connection to 2, so that's why I was about to ready to play Silent Hill 1, but you guys said I didn't need to, so I was good.
And also, it's kind of annoying that everybody calls her by her last name because now you know. A big surprise, I feel like. So, anyway.
I will say also to the puzzles, as Gore mentioned for a second, I love puzzles that make you use another piece of paper and you have to kind of like work at it on your own.
Yeah, I love that too. Zero Escape. I have my notes somewhere for Zero Escape.
If you ever just become big and
Awesome.
become like have like a Patreon thing or something like that, or an auction
So,
for something that should be your gift, someone just
that'll never happen. Not
Um,
the selling the things, me getting big.
you're at 40,000.
Yeah, and I average like 100 views unless I like
Unless you
YouTube
re.
sucks. See, unless I then I get 120. But
Anyway,
Work on
Yeah.
better cultivating the Indian following, you know?
yeah, that's right. I need to make more rupee
Gore the
videos.
Rupee God.
Gore the rupee god. Gore the T series god.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, the Bollywood god.
But yeah, going back to real quick, originally what started this line of thought, which is the differences. The other things, real quick to note, that are terrible with the HD remake, they also redid some of the artwork for the game, and they made it more modern and
It
new.
looks clean.
Yeah, that's too clean. That's actually what I'd say about the texture. That was the thing I remember. Like a lot of the textures look too clean too. Where like before, a lot of the walls and
The grime was really
yeah, it was a lot
helped.
of grime, but it was like they kept the grime, but it was too clean of grime, which is weird. You don't want your grime looking too clean.
The streets for sure.
You
though,
don't
showed that.
want to look like fucking Billy Mays showed up and got rid of that. Wait, did Billy
Rest
Mays
in
sell?
peace.
Wait, what did Billy Mays sell again?
Clean.
Yeah,
he cleaned the stuff,
yeah,
right?
OxyClean.
Okay, all right.
You're thinking of ShamWow though, guy.
Sham Man showed up and wiped away the wall. You don't want that. You want the grime there. And that's what the original game did. And by the way, we didn't talk about it. Silent Hill 2, because I watched someone play the original version on PS2. And then I went back and watched some of the Xbox stuff to see if we were talking about that extra shit. Because I've actually never played the extra stuff, so it was.
I was going to, but I ran out of time.
It didn't seem like I kind of skimmed through it, honestly, but it didn't seem like it was like.
I will play it, especially with that game with the new
I will say.
discovery of the new controls. Because now I'm just like flabbergasted at how much better it could have been.
It does add a new. It adds something to the story for sure, but
Cool. Yeah, I'll play.
I
I'll
don't know
play
if
some this
it's-
week.
It doesn't matter to me that much because of the ending I prefer.
Sure.
But anyway, what was I saying?
Grime.
Grimy. Yeah, they redid a lot of the textures, and I appreciate they went in and did that because it could have been like a shitty remaster job where they take the same game, literally like put a HD like filter over or some shit, and that's it. But they tried and they failed. So, and I get it. The 360 is stronger, so you don't need all that fog. You can see more of the city, but that's not, or the town, but that's not the point.
Not the point. No, the point is like
Yeah.
not seeing. You can't see anything.
Yeah, when Team Silent made those first 3 games and then 4,
So fucking smart, by the way.
yeah, it was
So
really smart.
incredibly smart.
Especially with the first game. The first
it
game
looks
was
really
genius.
good.
It does. The fog in 2, and I that's what I was gonna say. The lighting and the fog and just the world itself look, and the graphics and all the characters all look amazing. Like even the CG cutscenes
looks
look really
great.
good. Yeah, for 2001,
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
and even the
one
CG
guy did that.
Yeah, one guy did the first one. I don't know about the second one.
Yeah, one guy did the first one because you
Yeah,
heard the story
one
about that,
guy
right?
did the first one. I know that. Yeah.
The story was like that some guy from higher up was gonna have all the credit.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, I'm doing this. I don't want to. I'm gonna stop doing this, or I'm gonna stop teaching those other guys if you don't let me." They're like, "Sure." So they gave him the upgrade. And then they kept
He
trying to
did
do
it
that.
for
And he's like, "They're like, oh, what are you gonna do? Do it all on your own?" He's like, "Yeah."
And it took a couple of years to do it.
2
like,
years
right?
of living at the office,
Yeah.
pretty much, to do all that.
That's pretty crazy. Hey,
pretty
that's
metal.
That's commitment. If someone asked me if I would do that for one
Jason
of my
Schreier
videos-
would be all over that shit right now.
Oh yeah, Jason Schreier would be fucking. Oh, this is inhumane. Like, that guy wanted to
dude
do
would be
it, man.
best friends with him.
It sucks, but you know what? Hey, he wanted to do it. He had passion, and
And now he's a
sadly,
legend.
Yeah, and sadly, Team Silent is no more. But
But he's a legend.
yeah, but he is legend.
Also, they replaced they replaced the music in the remake too, and it's not quite as matched up.
It's
It's either that or it's muted.
it's a lot louder, but it's compressed. So it's compressed and louder, and it cuts out randomly while you're playing.
Yeah, okay, that I remember. I don't remember that while playing it back then, but I remember people talking about that as a negative. That it will cut out like at weird parts where it actually ruins the mood completely.
Yeah,
Like,
because you'll be having especially during some of the mood music during the cutscenes, you'll be having this kind of dialogue where, I mean, as we've talked about, some of the voice acting is not the greatest in this game, but the music really helps to kind of punctuate the emotion, and then just goes quiet, and then you just have the dialogue itself. Or you'll be going through a creepy fucking area, like you'll be in the hospital, kind of going around, the music just completely goes away, or you'll be kind of just going through where you're supposed to have the noise of your radio as monsters are around, and sometimes even that just goes out and you don't have anything from your radio.
And again, what was that? What was the background as to why all this was so shitty?
They lost the source code to the original game. So what they had to do was they rebuilt the game using an old beta version that they had.
yep, that's about right. So hey, I give them credit for trying.
So is there any glaring, like, not obviously technical issues?
Gameplay
aside,
wise, it's fine from what I heard.
is there anything like extremely glaring that like, oh, they omitted this or something when they went from that beta version? Because I feel like if there was enough
They
polish,
took
there might have been
out
something.
the scenes with Pyramid Head that we were kind of discussing earlier, where it's like, oh, it wasn't that bad, or it wasn't as bad as you remember it, but they did cut out all those scenes.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad I didn't watch that one. That would piss me off, actually. I made sure to fucking go back to the PS2 one. That was the one I played. So,
Yeah.
And I got to the end of the. I want to say the end of the apartment, but then I would have saw they cut out the fucking Pyramid Head scene.
You would have known by then for sure.
Yeah, but maybe it was back. Maybe I did notice, but I didn't really care because it's just one scene. I was like midway through the apartment complex when I first played it, but when I first played the HD remaster, I'm talking about, and that was the last time I played it. So, you may be actually interested to go back to it, just the HD remaster.
Just to kind of see how bad it really is.
Yeah, see how bad it really is.
I just look at comparison clips.
Sure, but I kind of want to see it myself. Like, I don't want to play that game, but I kind of want to see it at least.
I want to own it, honestly, still, just for the fact just to own
I have it.
I had my first instance of the audio cutout during the first bit of dialogue with Angela. That whole segment was just quiet. It was just their dialogue.
Oh, that's
and there's actually a clip of that happening to someone else online too.
Yeah, no, it happened. That's just. I'm assuming that's just how it happens because isn't it just a video they're playing while that's happening?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like loading anything. It'd just be a video. So that means they chose for that to happen.
It wasn't just because it's layered.
Oh, okay. So the music's over top the video. Okay, yeah. I get that. All right. Okay.
All right. Anything else we want to talk about? Like any major points?
Who's everyone's favorite enemy? Just design wise. Or not even enemy, just creature.
I think the nurse. The nurse is definitely like the most. It's because it's the most iconic I knew going into it.
Besides Pyramid Head.
Yeah. I knew that was coming around, and it was cool to see to finally put oh, this is where the origin comes from, you know.
You know what one really fucks me up is just the box guys. That one's terrifying to me. I don't know, the way they float around and you just see their
the way they walk at you.
When you kill them, they like fucking twitch around. That is the most Jacob's Ladder thing in this. Is when they're like twitching around and then they die.
Yeah.
Like,
or
Jacob's
they start
Ladder
crawling away.
Huh?
Or when the patient demons crawl away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When they
that's
like
what
run away. Yeah, when they scurry. I don't like anything that scurries quick. Don't scurry.
Don't look at David run.
Oh yeah, that's scary. I remember that. Oof. You're like a silent.
What about you, David? Favorite enemy?
Definitely those. What you mentioned, just because as Gore was kind of saying, I hate anything that tries to scurry away, and especially in this game, it's having to double tap things. I feel like was a nice touch to the game because anything you don't double tap will probably just come back to grab you later, sometimes almost immediately. So anytime one of those little fuckers would scurry, there's like that immediate sense of dread because of it. So I like that the gameplay mechanic tied into an actual level of dread with it.
I love just going like it's not to talk about enemies again, but or not. I'm trying to segue. Is that I love dread in just anything, whether it's movies or games or whatever. Like even like books. Just this impending idea that something is bad is about to happen, especially when you go in an elevator and it's like, hey, you got to put your whole ass inventory away. I'm like, bro, let me find another way down. I'll figure it out. They're like, nope, you got, yeah, put it all away. Even your health packs or anything, you got to put it all away.
Yeah,
I'm
everything.
I asked the girl, like, is this gonna be a long time? Dude, I got a lot ahead of me, and I see like one mannequin right when I walk out. Yeah, I see like one mannequin right away. I'm like, fuck, gotta run. But stuff like that, especially like
I was getting Code Veronica vibes from that, so I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, when things just
Code Veronica does that.
When things just go wrong, it's just so interesting the way that happens. When things go into nightmare mode into Silent Hill. When there's like the water was flooding in the hotel, and just like you don't really know why. Like, it's just stuff that you don't know why, or like unsettling stuff and dread is just such a good combo for just.
And
everything.
this is a great example of how. All right, what, David?
Sorry, real quick. I decided to pull up a complete list of some of the changes that were made to the
really quick. Hold on. Since that's gonna segue us somewhere off, go finish your point because David's looking at it, so we'll get his point in a second.
I forgot what I was saying.
Fuck. Dread, tension.
Oh, that's one thing I want to say is that like the darkness, not the game, but the dark is an easy tool to use if you want to scare somebody, and there's a lot of dark elements in this game. I would say 99.9% of the game is in the dark or it's foggy. So visibility is limited, and I feel like a lot of horror games use that as like, oh, we just put it in the dark and jump scares or whatever. This game, even if it wasn't dark, like Silent Hill 1 is dark, but it was a PS1, so it was like one of those dark games where it's like we can't be like full on dark like in PS2 era, So there's a lot of lit areas in the original game, from what I remember. But this game is 100% in the dark, and it just it completely works, and it doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels creepy just because the world itself is actually legitimately creepy, not just because it's dark. Where like a lot of horror movies, most of them featuring a killer doll or a fucking ghost, it's like it's dark in the house and there's a spooky ghost. Oh, it's scary because it's dark. Like, yeah, it's a primal fear. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and then when they don't overdo it, just make it a natural thing, as
It's
natural as it can be, rather than cutting it off. It's like it made sense that you were at nighttime in Silent Hill because you've been there for so long.
Been there for a little while. Yep.
Yeah. All right, David, show us this list.
All right, tell us the changes, my guy.
All right. So the dialogue was changed around in the game.
Yeah, it's switched around a little bit here and there.
During the opening monologue theme, the guitar was changed from an acoustic to an electric.
Yeah, I did notice that. That's what I was thinking of when I was thinking about
like
it being
why? Like fucking why?
The distances were changed around, just minor things, changing the mile amounts. The streets and sidewalk textures were changed to look much cleaner. Typos within the subtitles abound. They put a TV box border around the scene where James smothers Mary with a pillow, so you can't really see that's what he even did to her.
Why? Because he's watching the videotape, I guess?
I guess.
I thought that was supposed to be more of a memory besides the videotape anyway. Like, they didn't film... whatever, fuck it.
And the one that made me laugh was some of the font in the game was changed to Comic Sans.
Nothing scarier than Comic Sans, honestly. Honestly, the Silent Hill logo should be Comic Sans.
At this point, may as well.
Hey, I wonder if there's any person out there that can make Comic Sans look really good. I don't think there is, honestly.
Isn't like Conquer and Banjo and Comic Sans?
No, I mean like look good as in like actually not
like
funny good,
artistic.
Like artistic. Like say the next Oscar-winning movie, the font for the poster,
The Irishman.
Comic Sans. Like I don't even know what Oscar movies are coming out this year. I don't think there's anything. Sonic might win, honestly. Sonic
Borat 2.
Borat 2, yeah. I can't even think of another movie.
They're still gonna have the awards, right? It just in like
Yeah, they
March or
will.
something.
Technically, most of the big ones come out around
Don't
Christmas.
throw them
But
out December like last second.
yeah, and they're always limited release anyway, and you could just do that now anyway, just to say it's in the theater. So there's a couple of Netflix movies I'm sure will get nominated. The other Sacha Baron Cohen movie, the Trial of the Chicago Seven.
Oh
I
yeah.
heard that's really good. So anyway, no more movies.
Stay
Is there any
tuned
other
for Not in the
patches?
Movie podcast.
Yeah, which will come back never.
No.
There's no more patches. Okay. Last thing I want to say is that it's good, baby.
Which will
I had something I wanted to say. I swear, but
All right, you think of that. I wanted to get to Green Super Flash's email here.
okay.
So if you do think of it, feel free to interrupt me because I'm just reading an email.
Sorry, Green Super Flash.
What's up, buddy? He said at the end, P.S. You don't have to read this part. If you guys are reading my review, I'll be able to catch the stream tonight since I've been busy work the past 2 months. But we'll check out the VOD once it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But his thoughts here. What more can be said about Silent Hill 2 that hasn't already been said before? It's a pioneer in horror video games, and I believe, don't quote me on this, the first well-known horror game where the horror elements are the protagonist's own inner demons. Sure, there's spooky monsters and dual pyramid helmets on top of their heads, but the true horror comes from one's inner struggle to be unable to protect the ones you love. James Sutherland and the rest of the characters you meet in your trip across Silent Hill all have their own inner demons, like Eddie struggling with his self-consciousness, Angela unable to cope with her traumatic past. Not to get overly dramatic, but I enjoyed, perhaps not the right term, the themes of Silent Hill 2 were present. Aside from the story and themes, I very much enjoyed the overall experience of this game. While managing your inventory was a bit of a drag since it was an early PS2 game, the setting and monster designs were all top-notch. While the voice acting was anything but spectacular, it somehow worked for this game.
Mhm.
I did play the recent HD version of the game on Xbox. Not the best way to play the classic games, I know, but I did enjoy my time with the game. Overall, it's still a great game many years later and a classic in the genre.
I'm excited for him to actually go back and play the original now. He gets a chance to.
Here's that voice acting.
So yeah, no, I think that's a
That's a
good
good
way
review.
to put it. Is that it was a good one. I think it's a very mature horror game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, it deserves that M rating for the fact that it's not just blood and gore and grotesque. It's dealing with a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as we mentioned already earlier, is that the best horror movies deal with those human elements. You know, the human elements bring out the terror in the monsters. You know, like
The Thing.
what's the Among Us the game.
Wait, the movie, man.
That's right. Yeah. Among Us the movie.
I call Among Us the Thing, the movie, the game.
What's
game.
that Ari Aster short?
The strange thing about the Johnsons.
Like that's terrifying, and that's not monsters. You know, that's just. I think the more you humanize like trauma, you know, the more you humanize the stuff that because like scary, ooh, monsters, grotesque, ooh, doorman,
Doorman.
you know, like that. That's
Fucked up
yeah.
look.
It's like oh, it's fucked up looking, but trauma follows you, man. Like trauma is like something that like that is a non-dying demon, you know? And so when you build something alongside it when you actually like materialize your trauma as a monster and kind of form like it's so I'm really excited to listen to the developer comments. I might do that tonight while I'm uploading this. I really want to hear their mindset behind that because like I said, it's easy to write a lot of types of screenplays like the one because I've taken screenwriting classes at college and I've written a full one. But damn, like I can't write horror for the life of me because it's such a nuanced thing. If you want to do it right, you can either do it shitty and get away with it these days because fucking why not? Or you can
do it shitty, Blumhouse, or you could do it good. Ari
A24.
Aster. A24. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just Ari Aster.
Yeah, no,
That's my shit.
um, it's just so nuanced, and I'm really just very impressed with how well they pulled off these weird things. Because I think the coolest thing about it is I like when you know if something is up, but unless you really think about it, you're not gonna know it. You gotta put the effort in. It's a give and take. Someone's not gonna force feed you this cool narrative. You have to think about it too.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Queen.
Queen. That's what I like about it. And I mean, you ain't gonna get that from Resident Evil 4. Let me just tell you. With his Napoleon-looking dude, you're not gonna get a deep story about depression and like just.
Yeah, when you're playing Resident Evil 5, you're not thinking about the psychological aspects.
Oh, I was depressed during Resident Evil 5. Don't get me wrong.
No, I was depressed during Resident Evil 6. That Ada campaign.
Oh yeah.
Jesus
All
Christ.
Right. Any last farewell notes before we move on from Silent Hill 2? Until
until
a year from now when we come back to it.
Yeah. I wish Silent Hill 2 was remade by whoever can make a really good remake, like Blue Point. That would be amazing. Because there are flaws. I mean, I don't think the gameplay is great, honestly.
No.
I never. But
it's an imperfect, perfect game. It's kind of weird, this is.
It shows its age.
It shows its age, and it's definitely got plenty of rooms to improve. But also, I also don't want people to touch it in a way. It's like I don't want anyone.
I trust Blue Point. I trust. You know what? Give it to Capcom. Get Resident Evil 2 remake. Do it with that. Just Resident Evil 2 remake though. Resident Evil 3 they kind of fuck with, but
yeah, just use Resident Evil 2 HD engine.
Give it to somebody that could do something. You know what? Don't even remake it. Just make a new one. And if the rumors about a new one being made are true, I will give it a shot for sure.
Oh yeah.
I just think it'd be catching lightning in a bottle twice if you want to do Silent Hill 2, because I don't think this voice acting would go with modern audiences.
Yeah.
I don't think the themes. I mean,
I think all that stuff could still work. I think people
yeah.
And that's why Silent Hill 2 is still a classic, and people would still say it's a classic. But
I struggled thinking about it because comparing it to something like The Last of Us 2, where it has themes, but themes these days are force fed.
But it doesn't beat you over the head with it.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Like characters do horrible things, and then once they get to the big character they want to do a horrible thing to, they say, "No, I'm not about that revenge life." I'm like, what the fuck? How about all the other people you killed?
So Last of Us can be kind of what the most modern way we could think of, like a nuanced thing. A lot would be more near, I think, right? It'd have to be like near levels of care put into the story of it. But the thing is, I don't know if it do that. I think they'd have to overhaul the voice acting, but they'd have to do it right still the second way. You can't just straight up import that voice acting, unfortunately.
No.
No one would be okay with that.
Hey,
modern wise.
Give Troy Baker another shot. Maybe he can make it work.
No.
I like.
What? Also,
it's great. Fuck you.
It's fine.
They could get nobodies. They get just like they did with them. Get nobodies.
Get Gore.
Yeah, get me. I'll do it.
All right.
Mary.
Oh wait. You know what? Hold on.
Mary.
Can we end it like that?
Oh,
wait,
bro. Where's Mary?
David, I have a mission for you before we wrap this up. Get the beginning monologue text, and let's let Gore read it, and let's let Gore audition for the role of James Sunderland right now.
Well, yeah, I can
on it right now.
Let's get that beginning intro.
Probably be easier if I just find it, because then I can read it.
While you guys do that, this is Games Gone By. This is our monthly book club. You made it this far, obviously, you know that. All right, give me a second. Let me send this out here. So this is our monthly book club thing. We got November 26th, A Slave Odyssey to the West. December 24th, Grim Fandango. January 29th, No Man's Sky. And remember, this podcast I feel like is still very evergreen. You can share the older episodes and share it around to friends. If your friends play this game, try recommending us to them if they played something like, I don't know, God of War for the first time, Undertale for the first time, Doki Doki Literature Club. Come check us out and let us know. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Give us some feedback too if you want us specifically to move a certain way with Games Gone By. David and I still have some more ways to improve we want to do. Definitely looking into a new logo, hopefully sometime in the foreseeable future. Hopefully by January, maybe by March. I'd say by March, I think, is my goal, that I kind of want to build a PC that we can make the production value of this go a lot better.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Also, we're kind of considering this, kind of not. Let us know if the live format of Games Gone By is something you guys like. If maybe I know that maybe the fatigue of doing it Blue Rupees and Games Gone By back to back might be a bit much for some. So maybe we move this off the live format into like a more produced, better mindset. You know, where it's like, hey, we're doing this like at an appropriate time where it's not late, so we can go as ever long as we want.
Maybe add a little more structure to the flow of it or something too.
Sure. But if not, if you do like the live format and you like getting to hang out with us and because people like chiming in chat too about the game too, let us know. Like we're such in a weird way where we want to be very flexible but also want to adapt a bit more because we're on like 20 episodes of Games Gone By. We're on the verge of 100 episodes of Blue Rupees. You know, we're open to whatever you guys want. So if you're listening to this right now, we know we have some listeners. We know we have a good chunk of people. Not everyone's chiming in, but I mean we don't expect that to, right? We know that the usuals. And as I do with every podcast, I just listen. But if you have any requests or comments or advice or whatever you want with the podcast, let us know. We're reading every single comment, and we interact with everyone on Twitter. Whatever you guys want, brp@bluerupees.com too. With that said, shout outs to Konami. If you guys need a new James Sunderland, we got your boy Gore here. Gore, take it away.
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it to the spirit of the original actor for James Sunderland. Or his name?
All right, there we go. Good start.
Kiefer Sutherland.
All right. Silence.
So
now.
just from I got a letter, right? That monologue.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna keep it in the spirit. Okay. I got a letter. Oh, the name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that darn disease 3 years ago. Darn. So then why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? Gosh, this whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park, on the lake, zoo, the aquarium, the graveyard, the apartment complex, the historical society, that one place you fight Mary at the end, the room, Silent Hill 4, I don't know, a graveyard, or he said. We spent the whole day, we spent the whole day there. God, just the two of us. Staring at the water. We're boring. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive waiting for me?
All right, Adrian,
I don't
you need
know.
to cut this part and
Who
put
the
it
fuck
in the
is
beginning.
talking? Who's talking?
I'm sorry. It's just the mic grip.
Mary?
Sorry, sir.
Mary? Is that you?
Sure.
Thank God I need this song.
All right.